All righty, here we go. It is a brand new Flyers Daily for the 28th of January, 2025. Flyers Daily, presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. Pull up your sleeve, tap a vein, and inject that hockey right into my body. Boy, I love that game last night. 4-2 win over the New Jersey Devils for the Philadelphia Flyers. They open up the home and home with a win. You can't win both games of the home and home unless you win the first game of the home and home. Flyers took care of business last night, matched the Devils toe-to-toe, and they come out with the 2 points and a 4-2 victory. Actually, really good in the faceoff circle last night, too. 62% of the draws in the dot. They got shot in the game 33-26, which tells you that your number one star of the game. It wasn't just that they had 33 shots. They had some really good scoring opportunities, did the Devils. But Sam Ersson was excellent in the hockey game. First goal he gives up is nothing he can do. It hits the post, and then Travis Sanheim tries to get it out of harm's way, ends up hitting it into the back of Ersson and into the net, the Dougie Hamilton goal. And the Timo Meier goal was a great shot, and it was actually deflected on the way in as well. But Ersson, excellent in the game. Since Christmas, he has been excellent. Save percentage around .930 for Ersson in his last 10 games. This is now not a small sample size anymore. Let's get to the particulars from the game. Flyers open the scoring. Actually, let's go back before that, before we even get to the scoring. Because at 3:50 of the first period, Rasmus Ristolainen got a penalty, a double minor for high sticking. Full value on it. It was a good call. Devils go to the power play. Flyers had more scoring chances on the power play, the Devils power play, than the Devils had. Scott Laughton had a great chance stripping Luke Hughes down by the Devils goaltender, and got just stopped by Jake Allen. Great save by Allen. And then later on that same penalty kill, Garnet Hathaway had a great scoring chance going down the left side that Allen was able to squeeze between his blocker arm and his body. So Flyers good scoring chances on that. Take some momentum out of that as well. And at 11:04, they get on the board on their own power play when Bobby Brink, 6 seconds into the man advantage, picks up his 7th goal of the season. Not the usual kind of goal you're going to see from Brink. An absolute just grip it and rip it from just inside the blue line. Ends up in the back of the net, hits off a Devils defender's pants, I believe, and goes in past Jake Allen, puts the Flyers up 1-0. But this is a set play. This is a set play off the draw. So Morgan Frost is in for the draw on the left side. He wins the puck. Any set play you have in the offensive zone, nothing matters unless you win the damn draw. And he did. Morgan Frost wins the draw behind him. Travis Konecny comes in from his hash mark, tips the puck back to Ristolainen, who then gets it right to Bobby Brink. He takes the shot. All kinds of traffic going into the net. I believe it was Owen Tippett going in on the one side, Morgan Frost to the other, creates a layered screen and all kinds of congestion, and it ends up in the back of the net. So very good execution off a set play on the faceoff. I feel like we're seeing more set play faceoff goals, both for and against the Flyers this season, and really around the league. We've talked about why save percentage is down in the NHL, because teams don't waste nothing burger shots anymore. They try and set up those good plays. So more teams are using a lot more set plays off offensive zone draws. Bobby Brink gets the recipient of that one, his 7th of the season. Flyers up 1-0. And just 28 seconds later, sometimes after a team gives up a power play goal, there's a little bit of sag before they get back into the rhythm of a 5-on-5 game. And you got to be ready to go right away. Flyers they have a 4-minute penalty kill, a power play goal to open the scoring. They got some jump in their game, and the Devils just didn't match it. Jake Allen didn't match it because they turned the puck over in the neutral zone. Laughton ends up getting it from Farabee as they enter the zone, and Farabee darts to the net. As soon as he drops the puck off to Laughton throws kind of a nothing burger shot right at Jake Allen, who absolutely butchers it with the glove. Off the heel of the glove, and then there's a rebound just sitting there. And because Farabee darts through the two defenders, he's the one that wins the race. Doesn't even get a shot off. It was more like a push. He pushed the puck over the goal line, goes through, gets by Jake Allen, puts the Flyers up 2-0. Huge goal. Now they'd end the first period up 2-0 in the game, and they head to the second, and you knew the Devils were going to throw a lot at them in the second period. So you had to be ready for that. They're down 2 on the road. Flyers beat them 3-1 a couple weeks ago. You're going to get a big push from them. Well, Flyers end up with the next goal. At 2:49, Garnet Hathaway tips a Cam York shot, beautifully, by the way. and puts it in past Jake Allen. That puts the Flyers up 3-0. It's a huge goal. So Ristolainen assists on the Brink goal, primary assist, and he gets a secondary assist here on the Hathaway goal. We'll have more on Ristolainen in a minute. But Cam York does a great job here with this primary assist because he takes something off the shot. He doesn't just try and pepper it towards Jake Allen. He takes a little something off it to put it in a good spot where Hathaway can get the redirect. In this case, Hathaway knocks it down and by the sprawling glove of Jake Allen, and that puts the Flyers up 3-0. At that point, they're in the driver's seat. It's a huge goal at a big time in the game when you thought Jersey was going to push, and if they got a goal, they get within one. Then at 18:47, late in the second period, Dougie Hamilton gets the goal that really hits off the bar. His shot hits off the crossbar, pops up in the air, and then ends up Travis Sanheim trying to bat it out of the way, ends up hitting it into Ersson, into the net, and that gets the Devils on the board. So Flyers go into the third period up to 3-1 the score. And they played a really good third period. Good chances at both ends. Ersson had to make some big-time stops in the third period. He did. Jake Allen, I thought, even though he gave up a really bad second goal, I thought he settled in and made some really big stops in the game, including a great one on Jamie Drysdale in the second period, late in the second period. But Timo Meier gets the one-time shot with the goaltender pulled, his 15th of the season. That deflects on the way in as well, is able to beat Ersson up high. Now the Devils are within a goal with 1:22 on the clock. But eventually, Flyers just clamp it down, keep everything to the outside. There's a lot of congestion out there with a 6-on-5. And Flyers end up chipping one out that Travis Konechny makes a great defensive play, two of them on that shift, and eventually breaks up a play in the neutral zone. Scott Lawton goes in his return to the lineup, picks up his 10th of the season into the empty net. TK with the assist. Flyers win the game 4-2. So really good game all around. It wasn't perfect. There were some mistakes in the game. But hockey's a game of mistakes, and it's all about how you're going to react when one of those mistakes happens, whether that mistake ends up in the back of your net, that mistake ends up putting the other team on the power play, or that mistake just happens and a team gets momentum from it. What do you do with it? Sam Ersson took a penalty in the third period, shooting the puck over the glass. And you can see the look on John Tortorella's face when it happened. Like, oh, geez, how do you do that there? We got to kill this off now. And the Flyers are up 3-1 at that point. And they do. And Sam Ersson had to make some huge saves. So you look at the end result. I made a mistake, but I bailed myself out of the mistake. That's the mentality that Ersson took in the game. And boy, has he been good. Rasmus Ristolainen. Back to him real quick. We talked about the Ristolainen, the Risto dilemma, the Risto conundrum in an episode, I think it was last Thursday. And the way that Risto is playing, I've been thinking about the Risto conundrum. First of all, you traded for a guy that this is what you wanted him to be. Now, it took a lot of work to get him to where he is now. The skill was there. He needed the coaching. He needed to accept the coaching, work on his game, put those guardrails up, and full value to him, full value to the coaching staff for getting him to where he is right now. A valuable commodity. And I don't want to trade him because I feel like the minute you trade him, you're looking for a guy that's like him. Now, I'll entertain a trade for him, of course. If somebody wants to overpay, I always will listen. But really, the Risto conundrum, I think I figured it out. I cracked the code on the Risto conundrum. If I'm the GM, and I know that I got a bunch of pokers in the fire through my conversations around the league, and there's some things that I'm working both now for maybe a deal by the deadline or a deal in the offseason. And if I feel good, like I'm going to be able to do some things this offseason that are really going to make a difference-making moves. Now, whether that's a trade, whether that's a free agent signing, whether that's an RFA offer sheet, whatever it is, if I know that I'm going to do something of significance that's going to really take the team up a notch, I'm not trading Ristolainen. I'm not. Am I going to get another first-round pick in a 25 draft? I've already got 3. Not that you can have too many, but you already have 3. Maybe you look for one in 26 from a team that might drop off next year. I don't know, maybe. But I'm not trading him if I feel confident as a general manager that my team is going to significantly improve this offseason by some moves that I make via trade, free agency, or offer sheet, or whatever it is. So I have to keep that in mind. If I don't feel like I have that ability to make that kind of swing in the offseason to get up to that next level, then yeah, I'll consider trading him. But if I know that I'm going to get some business done this summer and I'm going to make that jump, I'm not going to trade him. And I'm not going to trade Scott Lawton either. I'm going to shift that more towards Ryan Poehling. So you got some options here. There's some optionality to play with in this entire situation. So that's number one. I thought Ristolainen was great in the game again last night. He just continues to put good performance after good performance out there. Physical, killing plays, getting up in the offense, contributing offensively. He's doing it all. Jamie Drysdale. He's another one that it seems like the light bulb is going off with much more consistency. I know his underlying numbers are really good, but the eye test is starting to match it in a big way. I thought he made plays and decisions in the neutral zone last night he wouldn't have made a month or two ago. He looks more decisive. He looks more comfortable. He looks like he's playing hockey on instinct. So he is starting to make a jump. Now it's incumbent upon him, like Ristolainen has done and got really consistent. It's incumbent upon Drysdale to show, okay, this is what I can do. Now you got to do it with a lot more consistency. That's the next step of his development. So the couple of guys I wanted to point out from the game last night, and obviously, Brink continues to play very well. Forster, I thought, was really strong in the game again last night. Mishkov looks like he's hit a little bit of a wall. It looks like his legs are a little dead right now. He makes plays at points in games, but he just looks like he's hit a little bit of a wall physically and mentally right now, and the work to get him back into that mix. It's not from a lack of playing time, I don't think. It's because it's the most unforgiving league in the world. But the last thing I want to talk about in this episode is something I actually floated this for Hockey and Hounds this week and discussed it briefly with John Tortorella. You'll hear that coming up in the next day or so. The Flyers right now, from a progress standpoint and a rebuild, from a team standpoint, I don't think they're going to have a big jump, a big progressive step forward. From a team standpoint, and because that's a result standpoint, I don't think it's going to be significantly better than last year. It might be a little bit better. Maybe they're in the playoff mix. We'll see. But the first stage of seeing progress in a team rebuild is seeing individual players take steps forward. And we've seen players all over of different age groups doing that. Konechny's taken another step, for goodness sake. You look at guys like Travis Sanheim has taken another step forward. Those are veteran players. Tyson Forster, I think, has taken another step forward. Brink's taken not a little step, a huge step forward. Cates has taken a monster step forward. Joel Farabee starting to this year. It's been a up and down year for him, more down than up, but he's starting to get it on the right path. We'll see if he can sustain it. Ristolainen, another step forward. So many players. Drysdale, another step forward. York, not as far forward as he was last year, but we'll see if when it's all said and done, he can match that last year. And you're seeing all these young players take steps forward. And eventually that young player is taking steps forward along with some veteran players doing that and goaltending. And then you have a pop. And that's when the team progresses forward. So if you can do that this season, accomplish that this year, and then get the team ready to pop, and then you can add some players, whether it be through trade, free agency, offer sheet, or however you add them, draft as well, and players graduating up, whether that's Emil Andre or Jetlachenko or Bonk or Barkey, I think still needs more time. But you look at those situations and you go, okay, we can make a big jump next year, which brings me back to the Risto conundrum. I'm not trading him if I'm going to make the big jump. This team has had progress and development moving in the right direction for a lot of players. Not all, but a lot. And maybe more than average, more than normal. And that could eventually bubble up to the team progress during this rebuild. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know if people buy into that or not. Am I being too optimistic? Maybe. But I believe that individuals need to show progress, and then eventually that comes together to show the team progress. That's how I'm looking at it. I've been happy with the development of a lot of the young players this year. Frost is playing well lately, didn't play well in the beginning. They got to figure that out. Farabee had a tough start to the season. He's coming together a little bit now. Had a goal again last night. There's some good pieces here. Work to be done and high-end pieces to be added for sure. They need it. But the other good thing is with those young players developing and coming along, they also are enhancing their value in a trade for a potential 1C. That's the other part of the equation, and the roster building and the team building and the team taking the next step in a rebuild. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. All right, everybody. Tomorrow, Flyers-Devils, second game of the home and home be in Jersey. We'll preview it coming up tomorrow. So join us then on a brand new Flyers Daily.